You remove subsidy on petroleum. You did not put subsidy on fertilizer that produces food for the entire country. Not too long ago, this same country feeds almost the entire West African coast. When Maiduguri was in peace, you see hundreds of trailers supplying food to West African coast from Benin, all the borders, Ogun, Benin Republic, and what have you. Hundreds of trailers taking food to West African coast. We have a population of about 250 million, which is a plus for any nation. But when you cannot feed the population turns against the country.
Hello guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now, a wise man once said that the best military in the world can never tackle what we call poverty, hunger, and illiteracy, which is one of the major issues that causes crisis in any society. There's one thing I've observed about Nigeria, and that is the fact that we're very good at analyzing issues, we're very good at vocals, but have little or no ability to implement those analyses. Anyway, I'd like you to listen to Shehu Musa, who is the national chairman of the Social Democratic Party in Nigeria, as he has used less than 30 minutes to analyze the major issues in Nigeria.
The challenges we are facing in Nigeria is a man-made disaster. It's a failure of leadership. From the federal government to state government to local government. It's a combination of conspiracy of leadership that led us to where we are today. Virtually every sector of the economy have collapsed, even though they inherited a collapsed system. But they apply for the job from the same party. And there was no creativity in terms of rejiggling the economy, rejiggling the policy, and creating deterrence. They are aware that the country have been looted out before taking over. We never had it in the history of Nigeria, the profiteering and racketeering of the Central Bank of Nigeria, NNPC, the biggest cartel ever in the history of Nigeria recorded, that grounded the economy. CBN have no power to hijack public individuals' account. The change of the currency, the redesign of the currency, crippled the economy of Nigeria to its knees, up to the community level. People cannot bring out their chicken to sell it, nobody to buy it. People lost their memory. What happened? What was the foundation of where we are today? Those that specialize in farming are no longer farming. Under two circumstances. One, the insecurity scared them from going to their farms. Two, the cost of fertilizer is beyond their purchasing power. Now, how do you compare the two? You remove subsidy on petroleum. You did not put subsidy on fertilizer that produces food for the entire country. Not too long ago, this same country feeds almost the entire West African coast. When Maiduguri was in peace, you see hundreds of trailers supplying food to West African coast. From Benin, all the borders, Ogun, Benin Republic, and what have you. Hundreds of trailers taking food to West African coast. We have a population of about 250 million, which is a plus for any nation. But when you cannot feed the population turns against the country. You have graduates. Their parents sold their property to send them to school. You did not provide any hope for them, no job for them. The private sector is dead. People are running out. Is it not a man-made disaster? It's a man-made disaster. It's a policy, it's a failed policy issue that have no human face. Less than 1% of Nigerians are looting and milking the country out, and they are known. Some of us that have worked with government, we know clearly it is practically impossible for someone to steal 1 naira in government establishment without the connivance of the financial sector of that particular ministry or agency or parastatal. It's not possible. It's 0% possibility. Everything is traceable. Because the structure of the system of government, there's no warehouse where free money is being kept for anybody to pick. Now, the entire health sector is dead. Our best medical personnel have left the country. Yesterday, somebody came from Kefi. He was telling me Federal Medical Center in Kefi. They have no doctors right now. They have all booted out of the country. Go and check the statistics. The doctors that left Lagos, left Kanu, even University of Ibadan, the premium university. My national secretary, who usually go there for me, told me that most of the doctors have left. On what ground? Was it that Nigeria is so wretched? We cannot improve the welfare of the medical doctors. We cannot improve the welfare of the security agencies that are dying for the country, to serve the country. They don't have gadget to operate. They don't have tracking system. People will be kidnapped randomly as if we are just a banana republic. There's no rules and regulations. And yet some of these security agencies are the best in the world. So our problems are entirely a man-made disaster problem. So it's easy to fix it because it's a man-made issue. It's not a natural disaster. What the leadership needs to understand is to go back and have a very fundamental retreat. Having meeting with the governors, making proposals will not solve the problem because they are part of the problem. The government injected billions of palliative into the states. You should go and find out how many people benefited from that palliative. Some of them one measure of rice. The most privileged ones are the ones that got one bag of rice, who are close to the government. How many billions was spent? If they spend that 2 billion they gave to states, if they spend it in training plumbers in Nigeria, in training electricians in Nigeria, in training people in fashion industries and buying sewing machine and designing machine, in training masons, in training welders, do you know how many millions it will take off the streets? How many millions? Our budget have never been people-oriented budget. It's an elitist-based budget. It's a conduit of taking the whole funds after being budgeted and approved. It has nothing to do with the ordinary people. And that is why you cannot find government. Even in the states where you have a governor, you hardly find a government. You see lawlessness. You can't find government in local government. You can't find government in communities. Even a councillor that was elected as a councillor feel too important to pick a call for his own community. Not to talk of a local government chairman. To pick a call of an ordinary people who can give him unfiltered, undiluted intelligence. Not talk of a commissioner. And above all, a governor to pick a call of somebody from the village to give him undiluted information so that he can nip it before it gets out of hand. There is no way you can divorce governors from this massive level of poverty, insecurity in Nigeria. It's not possible. They are integral part of it. They are completely integral part of it. So it's a multifaceted situation that we are in, and they require collectiveness from both the executive, the legislative, the judiciary, the traditional rulers, the religious scholars, the journalists, the worst of all, the politicians, to admit that they created this anarchy. It's the political class that created this anarchy that we are in today.
So you very in Nigeria?
If the current armed forces, security, other paramilitary establishment that we have cannot contain the genesis of this crisis that have escalated, the Boko Haram that was isolated, which are metamorphosized into different facets of non-state actors challenging the state of Nigeria. Look at the quantum of money that was budgeted for hardware and software for our military and paramilitary institutions. What are the implementation stages?
You've seen it for yourself. Now, when I was younger, I recall how the federal government used to share free fertilizers to farmers, and they used to write on it, "Not for sale." Some people may not actually know the importance of that, but you can see for yourself that the food scarcity in Nigeria has shown that the federal government has done little or nothing to encourage the agricultural sector. All people are doing is white-collar jobs. And the agricultural sector, the fishing sector, all these sectors that provide food for the economy of Nigeria has been left for no one to handle. All the monies that is sent to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has nothing to do with the farmers on the field, coupled with the insecurity they have on the field from the herdsmen. And the federal government has done nothing to ensure that these farmers find succor in order for them to provide food for the nation. And like he said, 3 things that actually causes war in every country is when a government does not have the ability to produce what we call food for the citizens of that nation, when a government cannot protect the citizens of that nation, and when the government does not involve in production, that would obviously lead to a crisis in the nation. And that is what we are finding in the nation. You can also see the medical sector, where a lot of doctors have left the shores of Nigeria by virtue of the fact that they have a very poor welfare package, causing a brain drain in the health sector. And you can see that these doctors that leave to the Western world also do well to thrive there, because the Nigerian doctors seems to be one of the best in the world. So basically what we're trying to say is that this whole thing is centered around policies. It's not about the federal government sitting down with governors and saying they're going to be sending monies to governors to do well to reduce the hunger in the land. And we all know that this money that is given to the governors will get to nobody in the states. And this is the same strategies they keep using and expecting that they would have a different result. We just hope that the federal government will wake up this time and face the reality of ensuring that they change the strategies to avoid anything that would cause anarchy in the nation of Nigeria. Please do all to hit the comment section and drop your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think about the reactions of Shehu Sani, who is the SDP national chairman, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We really do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV. See you on our next video. Bye for now.